Can you imagine that
All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome tonight. Sorry, a little bit behind schedule. Sorry about the delay. You're welcome, everybody. Thank you very much. Sorry for a little delay behind schedule. Type 111 if you can hear me on the chat box, please. Kindly type 111 on the chat box if you can hear me. Type 111 on the chat box if you can hear me. Type 111 on the chat box if you can hear me. Thank you. You're welcome. Type 1111 on the chat box if you can hear me live and direct. Type type 111 on the chat box if you can hear me, ladies and gentlemen. You can hear me live and direct. Type 111 on the chat box. You can hear me. Type 111 on the chat box. Type 111 on the chat box, everybody. 111 on the chat box. You can hear me. Type 1111 on the chat box. You can hear me. You can hear me. Type 111 on the chat box. Please, if you can hear me, type 111 on the chat box, ladies and gentlemen. You can hear me live and direct. Type 111 on the chat box. You can hear me, type 1111 on the chat box. If you can hear me. We're live. We're live. Thank you. Please make use of the comment section to type 1111 on the chat box if you can hear me, please. Sorry, we're a little bit delayed. If you can hear me, type 111 on the chat box. Thank you. Can you hear me? Type 111 on the chat box, please. You know you can hear me. Type 1111 on the chat box. If you can hear me live and direct, type 1111 on the chat box. You know you can hear me. All right, thank you very much. All right, thank you very much. You can hear me. Type 11 on the chat box. You can hear me. Type 111 on the chat box, everybody. You're welcome tonight. You can hear me. Type 111 on the chat box. You can hear me. Type 111 on the chat box. You can hear me. Type 111 on the chat box. All right, thank you. And tell me where screen blank. Now my screen is shared. Probably maybe it's your system. I have my screen shared. Any other person confirm? If you can see my screen is already shared. You can see my screen. I want you to type 222 on the chat box. If you can see my screen, kindly type 2222 on the chat box. If you know you can see my screen, type 2222 on the chat box. Type 2222 on the chat box if you can see my screen. Kindly type 222 on the chat box. Thank you very much. Okay. All right. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay. You're okay. That's good. All right. That's great. That makes sense. Ooh. We lost the trade on Bitcoin and it maintained the continuity of selling. Now I know OJ can analyze this market on the screen. OJ is one of my pride as a very fantastic mentee of the year so far. OJ, yes. Very soon, your time we have automatic ticket to my inner cycle trader over time. Just maintain the standard because what I'm looking for, I'm sorting for serious-minded, committed people in the trading industry, right? So that we can make out the money together. So quite unfortunate what I've discovered in this industry. We have very few number of people who are ready to take responsibility. Right, you're welcome tonight, everyone. So if you have your friend, you can share with them. Tonight is going to be very brief. We're already on the wrong trade, and of course, I say DCA. I was thinking that the market was going to break up, but unfortunately, the market continued. OJ can see that Bitcoin continued to brew down as much as possible. All right, so we have few work to do today because just a continuation. It's a continuation. The market continued uh, of last week. So I'm not going to dwell so much about the market. The market already defined itself. All right, so you have your friends to share with them, call them, and let them come on board tonight. It's going to be amazing. All right, it's going to be amazing. So let's call, invite friends, family, and friends. Let them come on board and let's roll together. It's going to be very fast. I like you to know that what we do is very simple. What we do, very, very simple, and I'll just take you through. Now, I've come to realize that what the scripture have said about the human heart is more deceptive than other things, and that's exactly what's happening. Now, our mission is very simple. We instruct, we guide people to profiting. So we instruct, we give information, and guide people to profiting. And that's exactly our mission. And now 5 years to financial freedom via digital asset accumulation. So it will be interesting to know that what we're doing is simple for everyone to be independently involved in the financial market and build out money for themselves by themselves. And now one of the first understandings. So we're going to look at market quickly, and then we look at one or two things about the market because we know there are a lot of people. If you are joining us for the first time tonight, just type 1 1 on the chat box and tell us where you're connected from. If you're joining us for the first time tonight, because after I'm done with the basic things about the market, I'm probably going to take you through just basic kind of interactions of the market. You're joining us tonight for the first time. If today is your first time of connecting with us, either on YouTube, on Facebook, or wherever, just type 1 1 and tell us which of the city or country you are connected from. Very quick one. Now, one of the lovely things we do every Sunday is that I know quite a number of people never understood what we do. What we do every Sunday is overview and update. And what many people equally fail to understand about our weekly review and update, all right, what many people fail to understand about our weekly review and update, that's the place we share vital information. Seriously, I do not need to tell much about activities for the week when on Sunday review had defined the market sentiment. Quite unfortunate. A lot of people will be, oh, I don't know what's happening, but they don't create time to attend our weekly update. So let's quickly look at the market. Now, everything, I'm not going to go too more fundamental. Now, the first thing where the journey starts from is called the DXY. So the DXY is the first place of a journey. All right, that's where the journey actually starts from. Now, if the DXY is bullish, then you have the other counterpart, Euro USD, USD JPY, or sorry, Euro USD, GBP USD, AUD USD, and all of that to be bearish. Very simple. And sometimes Bitcoin to have a counter correlation. So what are we going to be looking at about the market? So the DXY is a little bit dicey, right? Because we have a structural break, and just to say this a mere pullback. But to an extent, it having a very supportive level for now. And so DSY only need to retest above this point to continue. I've been saying this time without number. It's at the major support level, but you need to retain or regain that level. Until you regain this level, we go nowhere. All right, so quickly, that's that about the DXY. And so that's what I'm going to take us. I've given a signal about GBP USD, GBP USD JPY that I said the market on GBP JPY we're going to be selling this, all right, this at least as the market open. Now, our scanner is very simple to understand. So, but I give a look at it about the market was going to be selling. Then if we're able to break below here, that sell to this point would be very, very easy. But what if we do not? So structurally, you look at on 4 hour time frame, the market is actually had roll plan to a very fantastic, important area and tapping into that area. So look at it, this is a fair value gap. All right. And this is a fair value gap the market has rolled to. And so probably when the market opened this, it should be we just have a cross up a little and then continue to sell down. That's what the deficit for the market on USD JPY. Now we had some buy last week on Euro USD, which I still expect that the continuation will be on. So give and take, if you have a pullback, right, of the markets on Euro USD down, then we can have pierce through this journey. Otherwise, it's going to be very catastrophic. So here about you're going to look at the markets to continue to buy. So, but you probably want to have a pullback before that continuation. Now, I'm just paraphrasing some of those things. Now, so if we quickly go to gold, gold is still going to sell. Those of you, if you're in our community, you know how we have dealt with gold as massive as possible. Now, I talked about swing failure over here, but not everyone actually listened. All right. Now, this is a delay range for us on a daily time frame, perhaps. All right. So, but there's something very unique that people have not really observed. Now, this market was funny. Okay. Let me tell you why funny it is. This market have a major swing point here. Okay. I know many probably wouldn't look at that. This is a major swing point here on gold, 3,888 point. We have this as an internal structure. So this is the main external structure on XAU USD. So if that's the main external structure on XAU USD, all right. So we have just like a simple small break of structure over here on XAU USD here over. And now if that was the case, then something quickly happened here on XAU USD. So we created a kind of loop hole here, just like an order block. So that's align a confluence, all right? That align a confluence together. So that means this is like a structural break, even though it's not significant, but that's the side of a structural break. And now when we have that, we have it got broken over here, and then we have it come to probably a partially cut off fair value gap. Now listen, now this was a very nice move, and we had a swing failure. Now a market was sold down massively. That was a very nice sell and a nice buy. That this is a swing failure. Now what should happen? We have this point as a liquidity point that gold will come to rate. And so if gold is going to rate this liquidity, then we can bounce off this, call it a key level, another block, all together as a confluence together. And then when we have it rate into it, a sweep, that's going to make a meaningful sense, okay? But if we could not that, if we break this and reject this, then this is the last hope of gold. All right. So 3,888 is the last hope of gold. Otherwise, we turn 360-degree and start falling like a rock. Now, so but quite a number of people wouldn't understand when we talk about the market. You must look at the larger perspective. So it means what could not happen? What are we looking at right now? This section, I think I was doing some analysis over here before I stepped out on gold. I was doing a basic analysis on gold and looking at what point can we have gold return this week. So we could have this region that is 4672. That's 4604 4672. 4604 4672. So something like this. 4 6, something like this. So now what will happen if I have gold pull back, right? Pull back into that region or pull back to somewhere here that yeah, so that's about 4553, right? Something like that. Yeah. Then I should be looking for sell. So gold is still bearish as the market continue to go down this week. So, but either we could sweep this liquidity and bounce. But before then, you can do massive sell down to this point. So, in other words, for this gold, we will still sell. We had a very nice sell, and many people didn't understand. Last week, we have this is how we've been selling the market. All right, this was a fair value gap tap into it on 4 hour time frame or 1 hour on daily time frame rather. And then when we go to 4 hour time frame, you see that will tell you about making use of our scanner. Now, the higher time frame is the boss, the lower time frame is the employee. And that's exactly how the market is giving us a part of three here, but was not conscientized until we have this massive engulfing and we have a very beautiful sell here. This was the bigger confirmation on 4 hours. Of course, I don't take trade on 4 hours, but that is the decision point of trading. And that was where we look at the market on this point, and then we sold. This was a pullback, and the same thing continued. That's a nice one here, and that's the selling still continue as much as possible. If you're following us, you see that I draw this over, but many people probably wouldn't pay attention to it, and that's the truth. All right. So as it is now, so gold we still say was looking for selling opportunity for gold this week, and now the same thing. Now, so quickly let's go to talked about GBP USD USD JPY. All right. So talking about the GBP USD, talking about USD JPY for us to still continue to sell GBP JPY, something like that, right? Over this point. Then if you're going to manipulate over to get to touch on this point, then we just need to be selling. Okay. Okay, so now let's look at um, Bitcoin. So there's a little problem on Bitcoin right now. Yeah, now so go on daily time frame. Bitcoin is a bit dicey. Yeah, I have a buy position, but was capping. All right, that was giving some profit. So, but there's a challenge. Look at where this is a major support level or key level for Bitcoin. But there's something that happened here. We have this, we have change of character. That is a shift in market structure. We have this as low and we have this as high. So when we have this, there's something very significant that was happening here, but it's still very, very dangerous. So we have a very tiny fair value gap here. So you would want to expect that the market, but the weight of the sell because it was a part of three that got sold from here, and that was a very powerful one. There was no struggle or debate about that, and then we have the sell. Now, so right now the challenge is this: this candle need to close for us to know our faith. Now, just take note. If this candle close, all right, where it is now, or a little below this one, then the sell will continue tomorrow. All right. So that means invariably, where's your last hope? That's going to be here, 62,500 point level, perhaps. Then, if the market could close inside this range of this candle, all right, then you could say tomorrow we don't want the candle to come below this line. Then we can continue to buy. Outside that, it's quite dangerous for Bitcoin. Okay. All right. So, but if not, ideally, we should be buying Bitcoin, all right, because it's still within the OTE, all right, it's still within the OTE. So we should supposed to continue to have, I was supposed to have a buy. So it's still within OTE, and that's only hope. But getting out of this point, then it's going to be very disastrous tomorrow. So you want to find the market, return back to the range or the zone, and then tomorrow let the candle not come to raid or displace this. Then we can have a buying opportunity. It's a little bit dicey for Bitcoin, right? All right. So in most time I DCA into the positions and all of that. So that's one of the things. And so other markets, as usual, all right, you want to take advantage and to follow up all the details on the other instrument. And so I may not really go detail about them and all of that. So that's one of the things. And then some of you, there were some coins we mentioned last week. I don't know how many of you bought it, but they were good. I remember when I talked about River. How many of you remember River? Yeah, River and so on. That coin, I think was River, and was it wet? I can't remember, but I know River was there. Right now, if you're always following us, River was there. I can't remember. Now at about $7, $7 or something like that. Then later at $14, and I'm still buying. I still bought. I even enter a long position, and I'm already about 62% right now. I posted it to our group. Those of you on the PBS Club, I posted it there. And if I check it right now, I'm on 63% on that on futures. All right. Now, so all we need for this market, so it's still continue bullish and it's still getting it down over and again. And so it maintains some level. And then I just want to have the continuity of the buying. So if you, I don't know how to say it, because we continue to have a buy opportunity about this token. I think there's some fundamentals I have not really had time to check, but I remember I started buying from $7, when $14. We talk about it. Look at this. We came back to $17. Yeah, that was another buy opportunity. Now $17, and here we go. And so we're looking at probably when maybe before the end of the month to get to $40 possibly. Now, but that's not a cast in stone, ladies and gentlemen. So now one of the things I always tell people is that if you're afraid of losing, then you will never make. That's the truth. So if you lose, it's just to re-strategize yourself into getting in back to the market. In fact, the same thing I have a long position on ZZEC, and but it's still struggling up to now, right? Yeah, I have a long position on ZZEC at the point was about 8%, 4%. I know it should be a drawdown right now. Okay, it should be a drawdown right now, and then so if the worst can happen, then we're looking at this key level $209 and all of that. That's if Bitcoin get weakened and come down more, then that means this guy could come down to that 209, and then I'll be adding more position. Right. Okay. So for that's for crypto. Now, Solana was getting weaker, right? As it were, was getting weaker and couldn't maintain the momentum as it were. So that means Solana could still drop to as low as $80 or thereabout, before finding more buying opportunity. Because if it's going to close today with this bearish momentum, then we can continue to rally down on Solana at about $80. Yeah, somewhere here, $80, or go worse to this. But I don't think we're going to get to that point for it to buy. So you can see struggling and floating in between, as it were. Which other one do I want to tell us? Okay. Okay, so that's for crypto and Forex. Okay, you can see River now is $30. I love this. It gave me much trading opportunity last 2 weeks. So I'm on 76% right now. I'm on 76% right now. I can post it on the yeah, yeah, 74%. So this is 74% right now. Send it on 74%. Okay, River. If you're on our Telegram group, you see there is about 74% right now. That was not even long. This one I entered at 27.954, and I used only 10x, not 30x, not 20x. If it were 20x, that would have been 140 something percent right now. So, but I'm envisaging for the market, it's going to maintain for more momentum. So that means we're going to have very good momentum, just like this crashing down. And then if you're going to go back to the region to fill off that 60 something box, ladies and gentlemen, so you still have a long way to go. Okay. Yeah, so that's the trade and that's the market for you. Now you should be ready to look at what to do per time. So we trade currencies, we trade um, commodities, all right? we trade. So those of you trade NAS 100, US 30, of course, you see that they have been crashing, struggling. And then I think we still continue the downward movement on NAS 100, S&P 500 because stock, S&P 500, US stock. What's going on here? Sorry about that. Oh gosh, thank you. So we still continue rally down for S&P 500, and then the same thing US 30. We're still bearish. Those of you trade commodities and or the like, so we're still bearish for US 30. But you got to be very careful for US 30 this week because you could be finding some kind of pullback that is rally up, and so it's going to rally up. Then you have to be very careful. You may be find buying opportunity for it. Okay. Okay, so let's go this way. Which other one do I want to pick? Okay, so that's it, ladies and gentlemen. To understand the market is simple. And many of us will look at what exactly am I supposed to look at in the market? Number one, we talk about the bias. Number two, we talk about the structure. You must have understanding of the structure. And that was why you see I was talking about the US. I did a video. I know not many persons will watch it because for some of us are very busy more than what we're looking for. And unfortunately, it's money we're looking for. But where the money is available, we don't pay attention to that. Yeah. Yeah. So this scanner is very powerful. Now, that was why I came back here and I was showing some people last week how powerful this tool is. Now, I was doing a video. If you look at it now, I did a video over this and I told us about the combination of this scanner is crazy. Why is it crazy? It gives you key levels. Why is it crazy? It gives you trend line. This is moving average. Why is it crazy? It gives you structure. Why is it so? It gives you structure. How do you mean by that? Okay, look at it. Even though your learning will make you to refine your structure, but look at it: a higher, a low, a higher high, a higher low, a higher high, a higher low, a higher high, a higher low, a higher high, an internal structure, a low, higher, just sweep of liquidity, right? And a low, that is market structure shift, okay? And then we have this. Then this is a fair value gap. We should be having rejection here, and then after the rejection and confirmation on lower time frame, then that will give you what? So then you want to break this. But before breaking the, your first target will be here to take profit, and then you have more position. Then that means you'll be looking, maybe the market could come, take out this low, and then maybe could bounce it. So don't, because this market are very funny. And that's why I tell people any profit on the table, learn how to take it because can come back here and re-enroute back over to this point. Yeah, that's just it. So, but you come back here, you want to pull back to any level, anywhere, then you want the continuation, right? Right? Then you want something like this, then you want something like this. Now, so that means your bias is bearish for USD Even if you don't remember anyone, you should remember USD The market is simple. So for us that use this scanner, by the time you come to lower time frame, your pips, your sniper calls, your PBS sniper call will have given you a sell signal. That's the lovely aspect of this, right? Will have given you a sell signal. And I told you that when you have a sell or a buy signal on 4 hour time frame, they go longer than 1 hour time frame. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a very powerful stuff that we use in maximizing opportunity. And remember, we told you this is equally used. Okay, I've forgotten a stock that was we traded will make profit at the point I've forgotten it. Maybe it's crashing or wow, he never made it. He never made it. I think I was telling some persons the other time that this now but got rejected here. We trade this stock over to 30 something, no, $25. I remember from here and traded it up here. See, since then now, it was a pullback, it was a massive pullback, but the market could not make it. Now the market is almost dead because I think it was when the Donald Trump U.S. president was talking something about this company, the product of this company at a point. Then there was a massive move, and then since then now look at it. So you can imagine if you don't know how to take profit on the table, you just say I'm holding, and probably the next day you see the stock Sorry, guys. I think you were interrupted. Network. No, sorry, power supply. Okay. So, like I was just telling us that this scanner, right, actually work virtually for everything, all instrument, stock, crypto. So, if you are trading futures, you are trading spot, you are trading currencies, precious metal, you're just fine. You're just fine. Beautifully fine. So looking at local stock, for instance, how many of you bought Boa Cement? I think by next month we're going to be paid dividend, and that's one of the things I recommend for people when you are buying a stock. So we buy three segments of stock. What do we call it? Blue chip stocks, buy dividend based stock, and then we talked about penny stock. Now, most penny stock can pump massively, but they may not really have dividend. The blue chip too may not really be a dividend stock. So, but you can counterbalance. So the one you would love to hold more will be like dividend-based stock and a blue chip stock. Examples of some of those stocks you would love to hold more that are dividend-based, like Boa Cement, Dangote Cement. All right, we have in the agricultural segment sector, you have Presco. You have I think Presco must have retraced by now. You have Presco. Okay, now in the telecommunication, you talked about, okay, yeah, I think you can see it went to 2,300, and so the pullback is eminent. So you can just continue to have this massive move up. Since 2019, it has continued to move up as high as possible. Now let me go to daily time frame. Perhaps we can find some loops. Now it has continued to move up massively and all of that. So you can find like a new crepe buy, right? A new crepe buy was last year, December. That was at 1,460 naira per shares. And then before you start giving us this kind of a sell. So we'll take this now. So that means after dividend was paid, and then they even gave right of shares, then you should be looking for Presco to return back to this price. So that means right now I should just be waiting not to buy. So I probably should be waiting to see the stock at how much. Let's go down. Where is the stock now? What's the price? Okay. So maybe 1.5 or possibly even return back to that 1.4 base. Okay. So right now it takes about 1,700. So you are still looking at the price. So if you get a bounce from 1,600, then I should be buying. Now, but look at it, 2,600. Now, it doesn't matter what price you get them because they are dividend based, okay? Then you have different stock like we talk about MTN. So even if I've been holding MTN since 2019, yeah, before COVID-19. So, but dividend have been paid regularly. Boa Cement, First Bank, that's First Holding, Boa, um, MTN. All right. I think this one, Lafarge, is another stock that you would love to hold because these are companies that deals with things that consume not necessarily edible things, but things for utility and all of that. I remember when I was telling people to buy these at, I think at the price of 54 naira. I can remember. Yeah, was it? No, 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 something like that. I think last year the price of, yeah, I think about 50 something naira, 57 naira per share. And then at the point when it moved up massively to 155 and then massive pullback to 100 naira. Yes, 100 naira, 102, 105. That was a very powerful one. So to what extent are we going to have this stock now? We may still have the momentum moved up to 240 naira, probably before a good pullback for one to find a buy. Okay. Then I think we bought PZ this year, January. All right, and it did well, and I think it's still doing well. Zenith Bank, right, we bought and all of that. So this now probably could still continue to just like what Fitsin did. Fitsin at 105. All right, so that means you still want to have PZ probably go to 100 or 90 something naira before the major pullback. 15, those of us who have, were given, I think the distribution has not really taken place. Those of us, the volume we bought the other time. Okay, so these are powerful stuff that many people don't pay attention to, right? So then I talked about, okay, Wima Bank, so stocks, um, MTN, GTCO, stuff like that. GTCO, all right. Yeah, so this is correction. I think GTCO went to 128 naira, massive. I didn't even check anyway. Now that is another dividend-based stock. So you want to buy, these are stocks you want to first look at dividend-based so that you can be making dividend. If you have reasonable volume of it, you can be making dividend while you are buying and still selling part of it as it were. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, if anyone tell you, so because I'm sorry, I love to announce to many persons that I've seen more than enough in this industry, this online industry. For somebody who have stayed in a place for more than 20 years plus now, it should be able to tell the good, the bad, the ugly. Four things are very predominant. If you're my student or follower or mentee, four things are very predominant, and I want you to pay attention to it. Any business you want to do now, please, I'm begging you, learn. It's very important. Your skill is what you are going with. I've told us that the biggest asset now is mindset, tool set, and skill set. So mindset, skill set, tool set. These three things are the biggest investment or asset. Now, any business you want to do now, if your money will not be in the bank, your money will not be in a broker, your money will not be in an exchange, your money will not be in a wallet, any money transaction, financial transaction you are doing now, and your money is not in any of these, you are gambling. It's a scam. I, with authority, I define it. It's a scam. It doesn't matter how long it says. We have seen scam that stay 9 years, 7 years. And after all, when the thing disappear, a lot of people say, oh, we never knew it's like this. As far as your money is not in any of this, can I clarify this quickly? Bank is recognized to be place where it have to be custodian of money, storing, and that they are the one licensed for that. Transactions of fund and other valuables to be stored. They are the one licensed for that. That's the truth. Now, they may not be permitted to do certain business transaction. So bank may not be permitted to now become a broker where you can be buying and selling financial instruments. So that's why you have broker, and we have two segments of broker. We have broker for stock, that's the capital market. We have broker for currency trading, exchange, to convert, to do buy and selling of currency, which we call Forex. So these are licensed, regulated, all right, and authorized to do that. And that's why you verify, are this one authorized? Are they regulated? Third place, because of cryptocurrency, you have more of exchange. Exchange. So exchange can be decentralized or decentralized. You have Binance, Bybit, and then you have the aspect of, you know, Pancake Swap, all of those things, they are decentralized exchange. So in this exchange, your money may not be on decentralized, all right, but now, so you have exchange like Binance, Bybit, BitGet, and different type. They are the one, and their purpose and their functions of operation was clear for people, for buyer and seller to meet. It's a market where buyer and seller meet. So in that process, I'm buying, or I can connect a boat to trade for me, and that's what it is. The last place is wallet. Wallet like MetaMask, wallet like Phantom, and different type of wallets that you have. Okay, so all of these are wallets. So if you go to Phantom, you go to Trust Wallet, and all of that, these are wallets where you keep your money and you can save it. All right. Then we have external wallet or hardware wallet, cold wallet that you connect your account with. These are four places that are recognized to be the kind of where one thing that you are now looking for is what we call control. This is where control can take place. Now, anywhere your money is taken to outside these four places, you have issues, don't blame the platform because you were not guided. That's the truth. So any business transaction I would do online and all of that, and my money will not be in any of these, I'm not game. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, so congratulations. We are making money. We are helping people to make money. By the grace of God, our stuff, our copy system is now fully operated because sometime now I've been busy doing other things. But those of you who are already connected to us, I'm sure you saw a post. Somebody chatted me the other time, say more than 3 weeks. He didn't see anything. I say it's even more than that. So we're going to be posting a lot of results by the grace of God, and we're going to be posting some update. The one that is functioning very well now, the link is not generally available. It is when we send it to you, you can access it publicly. Seriously. All right. So because we are trying to be more conservative and strategic in our approach. Then today is the last day of the Salah promo offer of 50% for a scanner subscription. So that means rather than paying $200, you're paying $100 to access it. And that's going to be a lovely one. And this is ending by 11:59 p.m. GMT plus one tonight. Okay? Then please, those of you on our free general group, always pay attention to information we post there because you can take advantage of updates. And those of you who are on PBS Club, always follow the update. We send signal, but most time you don't pay attention. Some ask me, "Oh, can I buy market now?" I say, "We bought market, so how do we now not pay attention to the group?" All right, so that's what it is, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations, and nice connecting with you tonight. So remember, we expect gold to still continue. If it's going to continue, then you first expect a pullback. That is the pullback to go up a little before it goes down again. So pay attention to that. USD JPY, we want to have a sell. Euro USD, we want to have a buy. GBP USD, we want to have a buy. Okay. Yeah. So Bitcoin is a very busy, dicey. Like I've said, it's a very troublesome kind of level right now because of unclear movement of Bitcoin. Okay. So you may want to be very careful on Bitcoin, as it were. You may want to be very careful on Bitcoin because where it is right now is a bit very delicate. Okay. All right. So now, those of us, okay. So like I said, River is a coin we've been buying since $7, $14, and now as at this morning, when I was asking people to buy, was at about $27, right? And right now, I think about $30. Maybe if it's going to pull back, that can give you an avenue to buy both on just holding on spot and at the same time on future trading. So you can see this is still going, right? Yeah. So today the price it came down to, okay, it actually came down to as low as $23 today. Yeah, 23. Was it 23? Yeah, $24. And right now it's about $30. All right. So maybe when market open newly, if you see a pullback, you want to buy and then probably hold on to continue to go up as it were. All right. Thank you very much, everyone. Do have a nice sleep. So we continue tomorrow. I was a little bit on a break last week. That was why we only have a live trading section on Monday. But this week, I think we may have more than one time. Please forgive me. For those of us who are on PBS Club, our Tuesday midnight live training, trading, and analysis. It's about at 1 a.m. GMT plus one local time, and on Thursday the same time. All right. So thank you very much, everyone. Do have a nice time and have a nice rest. Bye for now.